Right, and everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Hope yous are all well. Bit of a different one this, this is more of a sit-downy one. In this video we're going to sort of talk about, it's been our first month in the house now. We're going to talk about how that's been. So we're going to cover how it's been, what we've loved, what we haven't loved, things we miss from mammy and daddy's, and just little things to look out for and be aware of. So yeah, let's get into it. I will start with how it's been. I think it hasn't, to say it's been smooth sailing is probably not the right I feel when you watch other people's vlogs on YouTube, or at least the ones we've seen, it's always been perfect and everything comes on brilliantly. And if you watch the vlogs, especially ours, you'll know it's not been that. It's not like me having a dig at Gleeson or anything. A lot of them have been other companies messing up, or bits up, just the house coming together and things like that. So it's not been perfect, but would I have it any other way? A couple of the things I'd maybe have another way. To be honest, for me and definitely for you, I'd have rather for when our neighbours that we know up the street move in, they're going to move in and be able to order internet straight away. Yeah. So I'd personally have loved it if we could have moved in, or even before we'd moved in, pre-ordered our and being able to pre-order our internet. So when we got in, it was a case of the 2 weeks we were off, it was just getting everything set up basically, because that we took 2 weeks off, but I feel especially the first week with the carpet situation was just a bit of a waste, wasn't it? There wasn't really a lot to do.
We didn't really do much, did we?
No, because we thought the carpet was going to go down a week later, but it ended up going in basically 2 weeks later from getting the keys, wasn't it? It went in the Thursday. So for me, it's not been great, but like I say, would I have it any other way? Just for me, the internet, and obviously things like the leak, but because
it's teething issues.
Yeah, it's just teething issues. And obviously I addressed the comment the other day in the vlog, you shouldn't have to deal with it, but you more than likely are going to deal with things like that. So for me, little bits like that, because you do get stressed out, because you should take a lot of pride in your house. It shouldn't be you shouldn't feel like you can't complain about things like that, 'cause at the end of the day you pay a lot of money for your house, so it's definitely something you have a right to complain about. What have you thought? Is anything
No, I think you've covered it quite well. Obviously the first
2 weeks was a bit of a bust, really, wasn't it?
Fiasco, as we
Yeah.
call it. But apart from that, it's obviously things happen.
Yeah.
I
definitely say I definitely get a professional fitter to come out and fit your flooring, as someone pointed out in the comments. I was a bit well, we know that now. But things I've loved, I've kind of loved the being independent and being a lot for me, the last year and a half of living at your mum and dad's, obviously I get up first for work normally, and I felt obviously Katie had to take us to work, or I would bike to work a few times, and it was just you have to be really quiet. Obviously I am quiet in the morning anyways for Katie, but it's again it's 5 minutes but to get ready and then leave, so it's not the end of the world.
To be fair, I fall asleep quite quickly.
Yeah, quite quickly. Even if I've not even left yet, I'll go back in to sort of say bye, and she'll just be there snoring her little head off. So it is a bit I don't know, as much as it wasn't something I minded at yours, you always sort of oh, if I drop the toothbrush, or make a little noise, and
probably more Jess as well.
Yeah, and the dog as well, if she sort of gets, she would wake up and sometimes bark, and it was oh, I feel like I'm waking everyone up. Like I say, being in the independency, is that a word? Independency? We'll go with it. But yeah, stuff like that, sorting, even I know as much as it was a stress, but sorting things like the internet out, not being oh Dad, can you ring the internet company up and see what's going on, just being look what's going on. Sort of being in control a bit more was definitely, I've definitely sort of enjoyed that aspect a bit more. And things like the food shop, I never thought I'd enjoy going food shopping in my life, but going food shopping and being oh, picking my own cereals and picking my own meals, and I don't know, I definitely do enjoy that aspect of it quite a lot. And yeah, just things like sort of like the units and stuff that we've had to buy, like picking your own like decor's definitely amazing. Like when we ordered the furniture, like the sofas and stuff that you can see like we're on, and that if you've seen in the vlogs, if you watch the vlogs, like it's just been amazing, hasn't it, picking all that sort of stuff. Is there anything?
No, I wasn't say my favourite, but it's probably been
decorating. Yeah, like you like the interior design and stuff. So,
and then obviously with Gleeson you get, well, I think with most new builds, to be fair, you get the independence of like picking your own tiles.
Yeah, for the kitchen, like, and the
your own countertops and cupboards and things like that. So it's like seeing that come to life.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, we had that issue with the door, but like that was just one door. Fixed. Like I say, if you've watched the vlogs, that's all fixed now. And
that was sort of a supply issue.
Yeah, that was the supply, not Gleeson. Like I say, I am going to make separate videos on sort of the good and the bad of Gleeson. There's not really much bad. There is a few things. It's more just things to look out for more than, oh, Gleeson's awful at this.
And it's more from our experience.
Yeah,
I know there are a lot of people out there that have had very different experiences.
That's the thing. I'd honestly say,
like, they wouldn't recommend them at all, or some have said like a bit like us. Like we've had no major problems with them, so it's been more
teething things, but it's still like an issue because, like, for example, with the leak upstairs lately, like with the carpet. Obviously the carpet's stained now, we don't know if that's going to come out, etc. So like I say, I'll get into that in another video. So yeah, things I haven't enjoyed to an extent, as much as I've enjoyed it, the sort of like things like the leak and stuff, like having to sort that out. And oh my god, the camera battery's flashing, so I don't know how long left I've got. But that sort of stuff, like I've just not enjoyed. That's the only thing, because obviously you do stress a lot, especially if it is your first time buying a house. It's like
you've never experienced it before, you don't know.
You think it's the end of the world. You think, oh great, my carpet's ruined, I'm gonna have like leak stains in the roof and stuff, which we never did. So, but I think it's just like if stuff goes wrong, because you're not used to it, you sort of panic a lot more, don't you? And you are a bit more sort of, oh, like, how do I fix this? Or like, even to an extent, like, I don't know, like, it is just like things going wrong, isn't it? And that's all I've not enjoyed personally. I don't know about you. Waiting for things, so like the internet, that took a few weeks. I mean, you can't really live without internet these days. I mean, it's pretty big, so and just ordering things, getting things sorted, it's more stressful though, more than not enjoyed it. I would say, like, it's not that, it's just the stress of getting things sorted. So there's not much that I haven't enjoyed per se. It's just like you don't enjoy being stressed about things more than anything.
Trying to make sure everything goes
as smoothly as possible. And like I say, when you see people online or you hear from other people and it's like, oh, that was fine for us, it's like, that's what I mean. Try not to take too much from other people's, because it is just all other people's experiences. Yours could be completely different, well, it will be completely different. Ours, you're not going to have the same problems, the same sort of great times and the low times that we've had. It's not going to be the same, it's going to be completely different. So
everyone's circumstances are
different. So yeah, what we've missed from Mammy and Daddy's. I've definitely missed some nights the dishes being done for us, like definitely. Some nights cooking as well, like to an extent, like when you get in you just can't really be bothered. I do think we are getting, like, we've got a good routine with the dishes, haven't we? I'll do them and you dry them. It is just about teamwork really with things like that, isn't it? That's the best thing. Yeah, the prep for the tea, and then Katie pops it in the oven or the pan or whatnot and like mixes everything together. So it's just about being like having teamwork for things like that. What else do you, is there anything you sort of miss? I miss the dogs.
Yeah.
That's like, I miss the dogs being there.
I miss my dog.
Yeah.
But she's gonna come and stay.
Yeah, we'll have her.
September, I think, so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, my mum and dad are going on holidays, hopefully, so.
We'll get the dog.
We're getting the dog.
We're gonna have a dog.
So. For 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But She's gonna come for
you know what the YouTube title's gonna be.
Yeah,
so I've missed the dog, the food sometimes being done, definitely the dishes being done. I will say, like, you do, as much as I said you enjoy sort of being independent and ringing the internet company up, you do sometimes, especially with the internet company we had to ring like 4 times or try and organise it 4 times.
Yeah.
And you do sort of get a bit like, oh god, I feel like if my mum and dad were doing this, it would have been sorted by now.
Yeah. I think sometimes as well it's just the company, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Seeing them, like, being able to just...
Yeah, oh, like a company, yeah, I thought you meant like a company.
No,
like
the company.
Like yeah, like just popping down and seeing your mum,
like
or...
having like a 5-minute conversation
and
or
then
something about something
I think more for you, because you work from home, really. Well, not yet, but you're... Right, and so as we thought, the camera did actually end up dying. We've had to wait a good half an hour for it to charge a little bit. But last point about like what we've missed from Mammy and Daddy's, if you will, just like bills really, and it's like having to part with your own money a bit more than not having as much spare for the month. I mean, because I haven't got a car, I've always had quite a lot of money spare, haven't I, obviously, so now that just goes into the joint account that we both pay into for bills and things like that. So that is obviously a little bit sad, but that's part of growing up. Obviously I am just joking. Now I'll move on to like things to look out for. To be honest, the camera dying there was probably a bit of a blessing in disguise, because I didn't have a lot wrote down, but like just sort of being able to sit there and think about things. So if things are a bit all over, it is because there isn't really an order to any of this anyways. It is just sort of, so yeah, there's no council tax for your first, was it 90 days we were told?
Yeah, so with it being a new build property, when we rang the council asking to sort of set up, it was, well, they don't band your house. They haven't got a set banding for your house yet, because it's just been built. And the woman on the phone told me that, you know, it takes them up to 90 days to band the house and value it, and then once you get that letter, they don't expect you to, you don't get a chance to, oh well, we'll just pay when we can. They are, but from what I've heard, they are very much, okay, well, we've banded it now, this is what you have to pay, this is what you've missed, and we need you to pay it now, please.
So if it is going to be, if it is like £300 or something all in one go, then you've just got to pay it from what we've been told. Yeah,
I think what we were told from family was basically, well, what I was told anyway, was to look at houses that are sort of similar prices in the area, because you can go online and find out banding of other houses, just to get a rough idea of what they're paying, and then you can sort of go, oh well, I don't know, say, oh well, we'll just to be on the safe side, we'll keep 150 a month aside, and then it means that when they do just go, here you go, this is what you've got to pay, at least you've got something there. And if it's more, then at least it's not as much you've got to pay, and if it's less, then great, you've got spare money.
Or just always, like to be fair, we've just been putting, especially in the first few months, I do think it's always good to have more than enough. Until you have, like, for us, we've already said it's probably going to be about 6 to 8 months before we sort of can go, this is exactly what comes out, because like I say, we've had no internet and TV for the last 2 months of bills that we've had. I know this is 1 month in, but we've still had sort of 2 months of bills so far. Because all of ours come out on the 1st, which is a good thing, because we have been able to organise them all to come out on the 1st. So yeah, like another thing, like, it's not necessarily something to look out for, but if you can, I would always over put into a joint account or overestimate for what you think it's going to be, because you just never know what might happen. Another thing, like, the address might be hard to find for a lot of companies. Like, even though we've registered it, like, the most important thing is it isn't showing up on Just Eat, so like we literally struggle so much because we can't get takeaways. But like the Flooring rang like 3 times, like, oh, I can't find your address. Like
I
sofa
was
places.
gonna say, I think the sofas did as well.
Yep, a lot of the, even when you phone up the internet, they always are switched on and go, oh, is it a new build? And you say, well, yeah, it is. And then, but yeah, like a lot of things that you order, it might be just like little things like side tables and things like that. Like they probably will struggle to find you, just to sort of make you aware. If you can leave like a little note, say like we normally say,
yeah, like
the
postcode of the development we
yeah.
put on, just so that they can type that in, and then it gets them to the site.
Yeah, and then you just say we're number. Yeah.
Bleep that out, please.
Yeah, yeah. So, well done, Katie. She just nearly said the number. So yeah, you just would just say like, oh, we're number 93 or something like that. So. Order your own bin as well. Like we never realised that you had to actually order your own bin, but yes, you have to order your own bin.
Yeah. With Gleeson in particular, the woman at the council did say that some
developers do
give you the bins, but I don't think a lot of them do.
No.
I think they tend to make it by themselves.
So yeah, order your own bin on the council website. We got ours. You choose a delivery date, don't you?
Yeah,
so
they do say that it
good.
has to be accessible, so you do have to make sure that if it is a new build site anyway,
that
the fence has passed your house, so that they can get to your house.
Just get to your house, basically.
Even if you're not moved in, they'll just put it like in the back garden or anything, but they have to be able to get access to your house.
Yeah. Obviously, this depends on when you move in, but just remember you are on a building site, so curbs might be chipped, stuff might not be finished. There might, like for us, we've got a few cones outside just for like hazards. Obviously the Suds detention centre opposite us isn't like fully flourished of flowers and things like that. Your windows are going to get a lot more dusty from all the machines and stuff going up and down the road. Obviously I know a lot of people will know that, but it is just in case. Like you have to sort of just remember that you are still on a building site, obviously, depending on when you move in. Make sure all your sockets are working and even straight. We've been quite blessed, all of our sockets worked when we came round. We checked them. We actually brought a plug, but then the sales person at the time, Diane, she actually brought something in to make sure that they were all working. And all of ours are straight as well. Run all the taps and fill all your sinks and your bath unit and run your shower and stuff to make sure you've got no leaks. Do that preferably before you've not got any flooring in. We obviously did that and we had a leak day 2 or day 3. I think if you go back and look at the vlogs, the sink was leaking. Wasn't anything major, it's just because there's that much movement in the house, something had just moved. It wasn't like a major leak, like even if you look at it, it's just like a little patch around, but it was constantly leaking. So we left it for a couple of days, then ran the sink again. I think it was twice that I pulled the plug and it did leak again. So do that. I would definitely recommend doing that if you can. Over order on your flooring. This was something that we weren't told about at what was the flooring company we went to?
You want to out them now, do you?
Yeah, what were they called?
Flooring Superstore.
Flooring Superstore. Like we went in, we thought we had a great experience. Turns out like he didn't ask us if it was to fit the size or anything. So the carpet fitter that came said like he should have said, like asked if we hit the measurements that we had, if they were to fit, or if we had already put on top of that one, which we hadn't, because we didn't know you had to. We just measured the room. And even he said like, you're not carpet fitters, so you wouldn't know. And then even when we rang up, the woman said, oh, is this to like, is this to fit, or is it? And we said this was this. Now the new measurements weren't, because the carpet fitter overfit, and then she even still went over the top, and we had a lot of cut-offs. It's better to have a lot of cut-offs than the issue that we had. So definitely, I think they normally go by 0.25 meters up, so yeah, I would just recommend, say you're at like 5.25 meters squared or something for a room, just go 5.5 and then you've got more than enough. The cupboard underneath the sink, didn't have a hole for the washing machine, so Katie's dad had to come out and do that to sort of fit the pipe and through to connect to the sink. That didn't have that, so if you do move in and you don't have one, I would be shocked if you did, because we didn't. So just make, like, you're gonna pretty much have to do that yourself.
Or I suppose you could get the site manager.
I'm sure, yeah, like I say, I'm sure the site manager, if you did ask, it's just because they don't know what's going to go there at the end of the day. Like, they don't know, you might want to put a little freezer there or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they would have done it for us. But
yeah, but
in
Katie's dad can't do it, so.
In certain instances.
And then like I've just said there, don't be afraid to sort of raise any concerns with your site managers, no matter how small or big you think they are. Like, they would, what we've been told from the 3 site managers that we've dealt with, is they would prefer you just to ask them to come and have a look at something than report on the portal. I don't think we've actually reported anything on the portal as of yet.
No.
Because they have always said to us, just come to us and tell us about it, then report it on the portal. Yeah. So yeah, and then just a few little sort of tips, I suppose. I mean, I'd feel a bit cheeky saying tips, because it's not really tips, but just sort of things that helped us really, and our experience is probably better than tips. Buy little things before moving in. If you watch like the beginning of the vlogs, like even day 1, like our kitchen was pretty much set up before we even had the flooring down. Like, we had plates in cupboards, we had cutlery in drawers, we had kitchen aids on benches and kettles and microwaves on benches, and that was all because before we'd even reserved this house, we were buying. Once you have the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna move out, even if it's like I'm moving out in the next 3 years, put 50 quid, 100 quid aside at the end of each pay, and just buy these little things, towels for your bathroom, kitchen towels, you know, like your cutlery, your microwaves and stuff, because once you get into the house, if you're still needing to buy that stuff on top of everything else, it's honestly you're gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't realise how much a lot of these things were. I mean, them first pair of towels we bought upstairs, I mean, how much were they from Dunelm?
They were quite pricey.
Like, you know, 20-30 quid. I mean, that's for 2 people, so if you're single, it's like, well, but still, it's still a lot of money to pull out, especially at your kitchen, like your kettles and things like that. It is a lot of money to pull out for. So, like, we've had a lot of help, definitely. Like, not gonna say we haven't. Katie's mum and dad's been fantastic. My mum and dad's been fantastic, and like the extent, like other family have been brilliant. But like, definitely, even if you haven't got that, just try and put the money aside to buy things like your cutlery and stuff, really, and a few plates, bowls, things like that. It all comes in handy. Even though you didn't think so at first. No, I was like, oh, why are we doing this now? But then once we got in and I seen the kitchen was ready to rock and roll, apart from the flooring and the fridge freezer. Yeah, but I got wrong. Yeah, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Why are you buying this? Why are you buying that? And the last thing is definitely, like, it's easy to fall into this though, and it is sort of expecting everything done straight away. Like, you can, it is so easy to fall into that trap of, oh, why is my garden still a mess? Like, especially in our case, like, took us a month to get the fence up. It all costs money at the end of the day, and I think, like, you've got to realise, like, you're not sort of only in the house for like a year and then moving again. It's like, it's probably going to take you a good year to get everything sorted. I think we're under the impression that, like, our garden's not going to be done till next summer now, because there's no point with winter coming. Like, there's no point in sort of rushing to get the decking done at the back just for it to sort of rot over the winter and stuff. So we're like, sort of just like, for example, this is the sitting room's the room that we're going for now, like adding the sort of little side tables and the TV table in, hopefully get a telly ordered in the next few months before Christmas. Obviously, like your internet and stuff in, lighting done, like a couple decorative bits and pieces. But like I say, just to finish rooms. Us sort of buying the little bits beforehand. Our kitchen's already done. Like, we need a dining table and a few like a light fitting as major things, and then it's just getting things like a clock, like we want a clock on a wall, and just little decorative bits like that. Blinds as well, like they're the things. But again, like, we've took it, so we've done the room we were sleeping, we knew we were going to be sleeping in for the first few months, and then the sitting room, and now, like, at the end of this month, we're probably going to order the main bedrooms and
Probably kitchen.
Kitchen maybe, or see how much the kitchen will cost. So it's just about sort of taking things one at a time. Maybe prioritise one room at a time, but
yeah, because that's what we didn't do at first.
no, we were sort of just going all over a little bit,
we
just
bought
seeing
bits
and buying.
And bobs for different rooms, and then it felt like
we weren't getting anywhere really.
Like, everywhere still doesn't look.
I do think I do want to just say, like, for us, I don't think we were that bad though. Like it was like. But yeah, if like you sort of see something and go, oh, that'll look great in the guest room, but you haven't finished your sitting room, maybe you just sort of think, oh, add on, it might only be £20, but with this £20 be better off going towards something big in the living room.
Yeah.
You know, like just think of it that way. I think especially if you're a first time buyer and you're needing all new things for your home, you're not moving from a new home, I'd definitely go for that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you do enjoy the videos anyways. There is going to be so much more coming, like just going through here. I've got like why I think Gleeson Homes is ideal for first time buyers. And to be honest, I think it's ideal for any time buyers, like to out people on this estate. There is an older couple on the estate, and I think at the end of the day, if you've got your kids are moved out and all that, I do think it's still great to move into them, but I'm not going to get into too much because obviously I'll give the video away. Our sort of snag list with Gleeson, sort of everything in a video, you know, in case you've just found the channel and you don't really want to watch all the vlogs, because there is a lot of them. What I think Gleeson Homes should offer is extras, like that's something that I'm quite happy about. And then there's lots more that I've got on here, like a lot of transformations and stuff like that. So definitely subscribe for the journey, the vlogs, the other videos, everything, because there's going to be loads going on the channel. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.